Tekken is a toxic X you can't get rid of. It's a toxic X that you could get rid of. You're just not going to. But yeah, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of following Eris. I'm kind of following Frame Whisperer. I'm like, I see season 2 was like the last. I mean, we'll see it, right? Maybe it's a double bluff. Season 2 will come out and it'll be like, secretly, we hid all the cool changes and showed you all the shitty changes. Lol. Maybe. But if it's as bad as it looks, or dare I say even worse, then yeah, I'm done. I'm done. No hard feelings. I'm just out. I'm a VF streamer. That just means once again, they don't understand their game. Well, not necessarily they don't understand the game. It's that they have their vision of what they want the game to be. Weak compared to every other fighting game isn't that a good thing? Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, no, Drada, I agree with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I agree with you. I like the fact that throws are weaker in this game. Like, it's in a throw heavy game, right? Every game can do things differently, right? But my point is we have to understand that they are in a revolutionary phase right now. They want to fundamentally change what Tekken is. And so the real question is, are we on board with that, yes or no? And by the end of it, they might win. There might be more people who enjoy this new version of Tekken than this old version of Tekken. But those of us who fell in love with the old version of Tekken, with each change, are probably going to fall out of love with it more and more and more. That's what I think. I think they're in the middle of a revolutionary act. They really want to change it piece by piece. In fact, I'm pulling this out of my ass. I've never been in the room with them. I've never had a conversation. A part of me suspects that every time a OG wins a Tekken tournament, they get a little bit upset. Or like, because it's like, why is it the same people winning Tekken? Why is it the same motherfuckers who've been doing Tekken since Tekken 5 winning all these tournaments? It's the old heads. I think a part of them wants to see a new generation of killers emerge. And every time a Chikarin wins, every time a Knee wins, every time, an OG wins, I think there's probably a little bit of disappointment on some level. And they want to make a game where someone without the legacy skill can still put that work on a legacy player. I think that's, not even think, it's a stated aim, right? And when you think about that and you consider, okay, but what changes will they have to make to the game to make it like that? It's gonna be tough. I don't think it's possible for them to address that goal while also making us happy. Does that make sense? So I think we just have to accept that. Look, it's a new, this used to be a Chinese restaurant, but now it's an Indian restaurant. And you have to ask yourself, are you down for Indian, yes or no? Like I said, I'm making a video. I'll probably post it in the next couple of days. But like talking about, it's not another Crash Out video. I mean, we've all seen enough fucking season 2 Crash Out videos. I'm not making that. But it's about like, okay, post Crash Out, what are we actually going to do as Tekken fans? And like highlighting the fact that like, look, people complain about Tekken 8, but they'll buy the costumes. You know what I mean? And the numbers don't lie. So maybe this is a better game. Maybe it's a better game. It's a different game. So maybe the old heads are wrong. So I'm trying to say. Maybe the old heads are wrong. Maybe this version of the game will be a more financially successful and will be more fun to more people net. But it means that us old heads get fucked. Maybe that's the sacrifice you have to make. Maybe. They're chasing dollars for sure. I mean, but every company is. But what I was about to say is that we're too old for the new Tekken, I guess. That's what I'm saying. And I think to some extent we have to get past the anger phase and get to the acceptance phase. You know what I mean? Like, it's better for everyone. Like, back when they had a, remember that Tekken used to have an arcade phase and then a home console phase. Remember they used to have an arcade phase and a home console phase, right? Well, think about the incentives in that era. In the arcade phase, the only people playing your game are the hardcores, the whales, right? And so you have this 1 year or 2 year period where all of your design focus is focused exclusively on what the hardcores want. And then only when you're doing the home release do you have to worry about the casuals, right? Only when you're dealing with the home release do you have to worry about the casuals. Whereas this is the first time actually in Tekken's history that I can think of where they've had to worry about the casuals and the hardcore base at the same time. And I think we're seeing the results. Because literally, Tekken 8, they could just focus for like 2 years, just being like, we want to make this game as competitively hard as possible. We want to make this game such that people are willing to put their quarters in game after game after game after game. Make this as addictive as possible for the people most committed to the franchise. First, focus 1 year, 2 years on nailing that. And then, okay, Tekken Ball mode, story mode, all that casual shit. But now they have to get it all up front. And so we're seeing it. So we have to ruin the game to save it. I'm saying everyone needs to do what they need to do. I think if you're enjoying the game, you need to keep buying it, buy the DLC costumes, buy the season pass, have fun. If you're not liking it, you need to stop buying that shit and play something else. And then at the end, whatever happens, happens. But like what you can't do is bitch about the game and then buy the DLC costumes. You can't do that. Like, you actually just can't do that. Or if you do, you're a dumbass. You're actually worse than the casuals that you're talking shit on. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. You gotta pick a lane. And I'm picking my lane. That's basically the point of my video. I'm picking my lane. But I encourage everyone to pick their lane. You don't have to follow me. If you want to follow me, I'm going to start making a bunch of videos to help Tekken players transition into Virtua Fighter. So I'm going to do that. I'm doing my part. But at the same time, if you're loving this game, love this game. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't. Or go play Guilty Gear, bro. Go play Smash. Go do something. But like, you can't be out here complaining about the game and then buying the season pass. You can't be doing that, bro. If VS6 has a new direction, will you keep playing VF5? Great question. Great question, Genius. I don't know. Maybe. Depends on what they do, right? But my point is, I will play the game that I enjoy. If the 3D fighting game that I enjoy the most is Tekken, I'll play Tekken. If the 3D fighting game I enjoy most is VF5, I'll play VF5. If the 3D fighting game I enjoy most is VF6, I'll play VF6. I like 3D fighting games. Or rather, I'll take it back. I like fighting games that have a certain collection of traits. And the game that has the most of those traits will be my game of choice. Does that make sense? I was even saying the other day, if Bandai Namco re-released Soul Calibur with rollback netcode and crossplay, I'd play that. That's the best way to be. I learned that during S355 era. That game was booty butt cheeks. Exactly. You just gotta do what you gotta do, and that's actually the point of the video. It's like I was saying. It's a post crash out. It's a post crash out video. It's like, okay, look, we gotta get past the anger. What are we actually gonna do? Like shit or get off the pot, right? But like pick a path. And both are viable. But I'm also trying to not be. I'm also trying not to be a bitch. And trying to make. There were people. Tekken Tag was a dead game. Not dead game, but a really small niche game competitively. And there were people who loved that game so much they made a bunch of great tutorials. And those tutorials really helped me gain to 7. And I kind of low key want to repeat that process. I kind of want to make a bunch of tutorials to help people get into Virtua Fighter. And hopefully they'll still be relevant when Virtua Fighter 6 comes out. But who knows? It might be a completely different game. But yeah, I want to make a bunch of tutorials, and I want to practice what I preach. That's my plan. I wanted the Chad season 2 crash out video. Man, just go watch the Mike Hollow video, man. You see my part in that, and then me fighting with FinnT of Virtua Fighter. But yeah, it's I'm not really. The thing is, I had my crash out. Like, you think about it this way: the crash out that everyone else is having. If you've been watching my channel, I've had it like 3 times already. I've had it 3 times already. I watched the whole thing. Yeah, I had it 3 times already, bro. So like, now everyone else is having their crash out, and I'm like, I've been there, bro.
Ready?
Yeah, I've had the crash out, man. I've had it multiple times. So we're done. Ladies, man, stop it. The VF slander makes Chad crash out so much. Oh yeah, I died, bro. I fucking died. Like, this game is older than me, but people act like it was released. Yeah. But it was though. That's the thing. It's not just their fault. It's Sega's fault. Sega released this game like it was a modern fighting game. It's not a modern fighting game. It's a remake of an old game. But they didn't say that, right? They had like, so people come into this game like, where's my story mode? Where's my stuff? It's like, no, it's Third Strike again. Like, it's Garou, Mark of the Wolves. But they didn't market it like that. So I understand the misunderstanding. But I understand it from casuals. What I don't understand is from people like FinnT who should know better. From like, you know, Tekken, like fighting game heads. Those are the ones I'm like, what are you doing? What is this? What is it? Yeah. No, FinnT really got on my nerves. I still like him, don't get me wrong. But like in that moment, I had like an almost irrational level of anger. And this came directly after he was saying like, he spent 3 hours bitching about the game, but then said he bought all the DLC costumes. I was like, wait, there's no way you said that. Wait, what? That's a joke, right? That's a meme. It's like, no, I just couldn't help it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to say then you're part of the problem, but you know. So yeah, that was and then he immediately started shitting on Virtua Fighter. I'm like, okay, well, okay.
Round 4.
Okay. I got real quiet after that. I'm like, cause I don't want to say shit. I can't take it back. Cause that's the thing about me. I'm really hard to genuinely piss off. But like when I am angry, I get like irrational and like destructive. And I start saying shit I can't take back. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me not speak. But yeah, so my point was like, you know what? Instead of getting angry at this shit, I'm just gonna be the positive side. Let people show on the game. People are always gonna shit on stuff, but I'm gonna be the cheerleader. Because don't forget, a lot of Street Fighter people was shitting on Tekken. That was another point that I wanted to bring up. Like, people were shitting on Tekken for a long time. Like, people would be like, I remember Snake Eyes famously being like, yeah, every other fighting game is basically like trash compared to like Street Fighter. Street Fighter is like the real depth. And he said that, and that was a sentiment shared by a lot of people. Like, people forget that Tekken is like was a niche game once upon a time. So to have Tekken fans now look down their nose at the other 3D fighting games. It's kind of wild. And it really affected me personally because I'm a nerd, right? And as a nerd, I've always been the kind of guy who's into like niche things, you know what I mean? Like everyone else likes the popular music or the popular band or the popular game, and I'm just here with my little like quaint thing that I think is just really good. And then the kids at the popular table turn around and be like, ugh, why are you playing with that thing? And it's like, just, well, let me just enjoy this thing. And I expect more from nerd, right? I expect more from nerd. But maybe I shouldn't, given, you know, the way a lot of the community, technical community behaves. But like, that really gets, there's a part of me that gets to me like that. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, in that case, why are any of us playing any fighting game? Let's go play Dota.
Round 7.
Like, well, what are you doing?
Ready, go!
Chill on my other go. No, I love the guy. I was angry at him in that moment. You can still like a person and then really dislike a person's interaction in a single moment. That moment, I hate the motherfucker. And the reason I didn't talk to him, because I didn't want to say shit I couldn't take back. But the reason why that matters is because I still want to have a relationship. You know what I mean? So I'm cool now. But at the time, if I had spoken, if I had really said my mind, I'd have said some shit. Shit would have got real awkward. It already was getting awkward. And it wasn't my show. It was Mike's show. But I was like, I got some shit to say and I need to keep my mouth shut. And I was here the next day, in fact. He actually messaged on Mike Hollow's thing, and I'm like, I've not responded. I'm like,
go!
I'll catch up with you next time I catch up with you. All the outfits though. But this is what I'm saying, Javeda. This is what I'm saying. Respectfully, Javeda, this is why I'm talking shit about you in the video. People will be like, man, I want a fighting game that's like, you know, Tekken 8, you know, the problem with Tekken 8, it's all flash, no substance. All flash, no substance. I want a game with substance. And you go, okay, well, how about this game that has all substance and no flash? And people being like, yeah, but the costumes though. Yeah, but the sound though. And it's like, okay, well then Harada was right then, isn't it? The fighting game community doesn't really want like a deep game. They want a flashy game with like we have an experiment right now. We can see what people actually want from their like viewing and playing preferences. And Harada is kind of right. So again, I'm giving you spoiling the video, but it's a bit like if you make a nightclub, you don't actually, the music doesn't have to be good. The service doesn't have to be good. You just have to make sure that hot girls are there. Because if hot girls are there, then horny boys will follow. So you might pretend that what you're selling is like a club experience, but what you're really selling is sexual opportunity. That's the thing. And so it's like, so people are like, you know, here's a really good deep fighting game, and this is what we want, but then not really. Not really. You know what I mean? Like what they want is like the power fantasy, I guess. Because Tekken is really good at giving you that. I mean, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I'm like, okay, but it's not like a game. Hot girls in a fighting game, DOA, there you go. There you go. It just doesn't look that fun to me personally. That's different, AD. That's different. I understand that. Again, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. My beef's not with you in that sense. I think if someone tells me I've played it and it's not fun or it doesn't look fun, that's fine. But it's when people are like, no, I want a fighting game with depth, and you go, okay, then what about this? Like, but it's not sexy enough. Like, okay, well then depth clearly isn't the deciding factor, clearly. Like, or think of it this way. Let's say you have two games. One game that has lots of depth, but it's like dry, like Virtufied, and another game that is like the sexiest thing you've ever seen aesthetically, but it's like mechanically dead. And you put them up in front of you, and you go, and you will find out what people actually want. Do you know what I mean? And people can say with their mouth, I want XYZ, but we'll see with our eyes. And so it's been kind of eye-opening. So this whole experience, I've learned a lot about Tekken and fighting games playing Virtufied, and not just about the actual fighting games, about fighting game communities, about the benefits of a small community I didn't really think about at all until I started playing this game. You know, one of the things I said to you, Javeda, or one of the things I said about you in the video, so, you know, spoilers, is like, you were concerned with your viewer count, but your viewer count is low. So is mine, right? We have a small channel. And I was like, well, the irony is, if you played Virtua Fighter, I promise you by the end of the month, you'd have more viewers. Because there are so few people that play Virtua Fighter that anyone who loves it, like me, follows everyone who plays it on a regular basis. So the viewer count argument doesn't really work. But if your real argument was, it looks dull, that would make sense to me. I would end the conversation. That's fine. But so there's lots of like other things that people are really looking for. And I think Harada has learned that. Yeah, so I think Harada has realized that people say they want like depth and stuff, but they don't though. Again, the FinnT interaction was like a key point of this. People will complain on Twitter, whatever, but like so long as you buy the season pass, and so long as you buy all the costumes, who gives a fuck what you say with your mouth? Who gives a fuck what you say? And I think they clocked that sooner than I did, and I'm clocking that by watching how things have played out. I'd be interested to see what happens going forward. And I think, and obviously, Frame Whisperer has been saying this for a longer time. And I've heard him, but I've not really grokked what he was saying until recently. And I've been like, oh, I get his frustration now. Because again, people will complain, and people will like him complaining, but they won't actually do the things that would be required to make the game actually get better. In fact, they'll often do the exact opposite.